What's up everybody, this is Rob Sherman with Come On Michigan, and we're moving on to step 6 in the home buying process, insurance and other items. Okay, so this is going to be a short video. There's a lot of little things that I notice in the home buying process that nobody really talks about, and it's just kind of expected, and you don't know what you don't know. So let me give you a few of those items. The biggest one is insurance. I would absolutely have a recommendation for somebody to provide you with homeowners insurance, but the honest fact is that going with whoever your current insurance provider is probably going to be the best case scenario. They're going to give you, a bundled insurance discount. So they're probably the best place to start with homeowners insurance. And remember, homeowners insurance is required for you to be able to close. It's not discussed a lot, and that's why I wanted to make this video talking about that. And what happens when people don't understand it or don't realize how important it is that it happens like 3 days before we're supposed to close, which normally isn't a big deal, but sometimes those insurance providers want to know, different things about the home. And if you don't know that, you got to ask me, and if it hasn't come up in the transaction, I have to ask other people, and it can delay us. Can absolutely delay us. My homeowner insurance people, they require pictures of like the roof and a couple of other things. And to be honest, when I've refied some of my investment properties, it slows us down because I have to go get those pictures. Or sometimes these properties, some of them are occupied. I'm talking a lot about investment properties, but it's the same thing. They're occupied, and then I have to get permission and go through all of this stuff just to get us into it. So don't forget, don't wait until the last day is my advice. Contact your insurance provider and just do whatever steps they require, but do it early in the process. Do it, once the appraisal and home inspection is done, really just try to jump on that and get that done. And the other thing is sometimes homes come with leased things that we really need to discuss. Like water softener leases or propane leases or things like that. And I even just had one that had a leased well. The well for the house, the water source, was actually on the neighbor's property, and it was they had a payment for that. And so understanding all of those things, some of these aren't, well, the well would be important and you have to continue, but you don't have to continue the water softener rental. You don't have to continue the propane rental. You can change or use someone else, but usually the seller's already figured out the best practice for that. So having a conversation, understanding what you're getting into, understanding what these bills could look like, before you close on the house is probably just the best case scenario, right? Understanding your expenses. And the last thing I want to talk about is homeowners associations. And the biggest reason I want to talk about it is it just came up with me. I helped a buyer buy a condo with an HOA, your standard little everything's next to each other condos. And she thought, and she didn't mention it to me, didn't ask or anything, and I'd given her the HOA docs to review, and apparently she didn't. She thought that she could bump out the breezeway. So the front door was tucked in, but the garage and the next condo here, so there's a breezeway with the door here. She thought that she could bring that forward, connect it to the two, and add like 50, 70 square feet to her condo. No, you can't. A lot of HOAs do not allow you to do exterior updates like that. Some do, detached condos do, all of that. But most of them don't allow for that kind of thing. And you need to understand what you're buying. You need to review your HOA docs. If you don't understand them, ask me. If I don't understand them, we can just simply call the HOA. It's that simple. But if you haven't poured over your HOA docs and you don't understand the rules and all of that stuff, you need to do that. You need to take some time to sit down and understand what you can't do, what you're responsible for, what you're not. Sometimes you're responsible for windows. Sometimes the HOA is responsible for replacing windows. So understand what you're buying. Understand all of those nuances about the property you're purchasing. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I understand that they can get lengthy. I understand there's a lot of information. That's why I broke them up into little chunks that we could swallow a little easier. Some of the other videos we do are a lot cooler, with come home cares that I'm trying to launch. It's going to have the feel-good stories. You're going to be able to see what Como, Michigan does inside the community. Those are the much more fun videos to watch. So please pay attention to social medias, YouTube, and just comeHomeMichigan.com for all of those things. And yeah, all right, guys. God bless.